In this podcast, I want to discuss whether golfing etiquette is going downhill and being lost in the amateur game. Right, so I don't want to sound like an old fart here, but when I started playing golf 40 years ago as a young wee whippersnapper, this game taught me golfing etiquette, and I was told and educated from a very early age about what you should and shouldn't do on the golf course. And I'm just wondering, from what I'm witnessing these days, whether all of that is being lost to the amateur game. So, what am I actually talking about here? So, there's a number of things that I see day in, day out on a lot of golf courses I play, but I can only talk about my home golf course as well. And my home golf course is a fantastic golf course with fantastic members, but there's still things about golfing etiquette that I think back 30 years ago was just a given and now doesn't seem to be getting done. Now, I've lost count of the amount of times that I walk onto a green and there is just an absolute plethora of pitch marks all over the green. The first thing I do when I get onto a green is look for my pitch mark and repair it. But it appears that must be that a lot of people just walk onto the green, go and mark their ball, and don't even bother to look for it because there's just so many of them that haven't been repaired. Don't get me started on the amount of times I go into a bunker that's not been raked properly. You know, sometimes not been raked at all. That's pretty rare, to be fair. But all the time, like all the times, just like they've just wafted the rake round the bunker with no real thought about the next person behind them that could go into that bunker. Again, years ago, you were told that you had to leave that bunker in the condition it was when you got into it. And the amount of times I go into bunkers now, and it's just had a rake wafted around it. It's not an even surface. There's ridges of sand, which, you know, you always seem to end up on the wrong side of, and then you've got no shot because you can't get into the back of the ball. You know, these are things that should just be an absolute basic minimum as a member of a golf club that I just don't been seeing getting done now. Now, obviously, I'm not talking about all people here, but there's obviously quite a percentage of people that are not doing these things. You know, the other one is, I can't remember the last time that I was called through. Again, years ago, you would be looking for a ball, you'd be looking behind. As soon as you saw that the next group were on the tee and you still had not found the ball, you give them a wave, come through, let's keep this thing moving, you know. Whereas now, like I say, I can't remember the last time I was called through. The art of calling through has been completely lost. Now, some of you might get in the comments and say, well, that's because there's a minimum of 3 minutes looking for a ball now. Let me tell you, people are looking for balls longer than 3 minutes. You know, if everyone went and got into the rough and said, okay, I'm starting a watch now, a timer for 3 minutes, people wouldn't believe how quickly that 3 minutes goes. People are spending longer than 3 minutes looking for the golf ball. And yet you see people looking for a ball, sometimes looking for 2 balls. And you stood on the tee and it doesn't even occur to them to even think about calling you through. And then you get frustrated, it's back in play up, the people behind you are then waiting for you. You know, it's just, these are just little things that should be done that I was taught when I started playing the game, that were things that were part of golfing etiquette that I think a lot of people who've took up the game in the last 5 to 10 years and they haven't had that education, I'll give them the benefit of the doubt and say that they don't know that they should be doing it rather than them refusing to do it. But even still, I think that golfing etiquette is being largely lost in the amateur game. Please, do you agree? Get in the comments and let me know what you think. So, what do you think? Do you come across these same things at your golf club? This might be just a thing that's like for the UK. Obviously, I'm in the UK. I'm talking about my experiences at UK golf clubs. It might be completely different at other golf courses in other countries around the world. But, you know, are you experiencing these same things as what I'm experiencing? And if you are, you know, like I said, get in the comments. Let me know what your thoughts on this is. And if that is the case, then what is the solution? There is only one solution to this. And this is that when someone joins a golf club, they should have to sit down and answer some kind of quick golfing etiquette multiple choice test or something. I know it would seem like it's a complete pain, but honestly, if that person really wants to be a member of your golf club, they will definitely sit down and do it. And these would just be things that would just make sure, if they know the answers to the questions, then they'll just waltz through it. If they don't, because they're completely new to the game, then they're going to learn some vital golfing etiquette, which is going to make their life a lot easier. It's going to stop maybe some sort of situation where they're out on the course and someone decides to have a go at someone for not doing something that they should have done. And it might be just that they didn't realise that they had to do it. I just think that if every single person who joined a golf club, and it was done by the EGU, the English Golf Union, or the R&A, or the USGA, or whatever, it would make sure that everyone was being educated on golfing etiquette. And this would obviously just make things run so much more smoothly. If everyone repaired their pitch mark, then the greens are going to be better. Everyone raked a bunker properly. It means that a person who goes into that bunker afterwards is not going to get annoyed. It's not going to ruin their round. You would know, instinctively where you should stand when someone's playing a shot. I've come across that on a few occasions where people are just standing in completely the wrong place. These are things that are just kind of bog standard. Calling people through, that just helps with the pace of play. A round of golf already takes far too long if everyone's not looking for the ball, just because everyone now takes such a long time over everything. I'm quite a quick player, but, round of golf, a medal round of golf now is a minimum of 5 hours to get round. But if everyone did all of these things and maybe called through and was maybe made aware that pace of play was important, that you should always keep up with the group in front. And if you do lose some ground, then, you've got to get a bit of a scoot on and catch up to that group in front. Whereas people lose holes and it just seems like they don't care. They're not even aware of it. Don't even think about it. All of these things would make everyone's life at golf clubs so much easier if everyone knew and was educated on golfing etiquette. Am I wrong on this, or do you totally agree? Do you have a better solution to this problem if you indeed find that it is a problem that you've come across as well? Please, as with all of my podcasts, I love to get some conversation going. I love to hear from you in the comments. Let me know what your findings are. Do you find that golfing etiquette is slowly slipping and getting worse as time goes by? Or actually, do you find that you don't come across this at all? I'd love to hear from you. I love reading the comments. So please, like I say, let me know what you think, and I will see you in the next podcast.